Have you ever thought about how weird superheroes are? I mean, take Batman, for example. In Bruce Wayne's own words, guy dresses up like a bat, clearly has issues. And don't even get me started on Superman. An alien from some made-up planet? Really? I'm 18, DC. Do you really think I'm gonna buy that? Well, the sad fact of the matter is that I do. I buy it. I'm a loser, okay? I buy it. And so do many of us. The Marvel Cinematic Universe is the highest grossing film franchise of all time. And in 2020, The Dark Knight was selected for preservation by the US Library of Congress. Although superheroes admittedly hold great value that I, as a superhero buff, can attest to, they have, for some, become the definition of what a hero is. And that's my concern. Too often, we forget not all heroes are supernatural beings with cool suits and an alter ego. So we rely on others to perform acts of altruism, believing that we ourselves are unfit to do so. I fear that while we sit around idly, waiting for others to step up to the challenges we're unwilling to face, the pain and destruction manifesting in our world will only be exacerbated. We'd like to think that in an emergency situation, we'd be the first ones to don that heroic cape and leap into action, becoming the hero our city needs. But this imaginated reality couldn't be further from the truth. Through their research, psychologists Bibb Latney and John Darley found that people are more likely to extend help when they're alone than when they're in the presence of others. They dubbed this the bystander effect and ascribed it to two factors: diffusion of responsibility and social influence. When we're in a crowded environment, we feel less personal responsibility and often fall to conformity with those around us. Author and psychosocial rehabilitation specialist Kendra Cherry notes that if onlookers are not really sure what is happening, are unclear who the person in trouble is, or are unsure if the person really needs assistance, they're far less likely to take action. This, combined with our natural inclination to follow the herd, leads to us being in an especially passive state. So rather than rushing to the rescue, we're often the ones rushing out the door, running away from those whom we initially sought to save. But why does this matter? Sure, we might have dreamt of becoming Superman or Batman as a kid, but we realize now that it was an unattainable fantasy that would have never set out to become a reality. But what we need to realize is that our world needs the everyday hero. A study published in Psychology of Violence found that another person, or a bystander, is present in nearly 2 out of 3 instances of victimization. Another study found that when 4 or more people are present in an emergency situation, there is only a 31% chance that someone is willing to step in and help. For many people, remaining passive is a go-to, and heroism is a mere afterthought. In 2019, 16-year-old Cassine Morris was fatally stabbed, while nearly 60 onlookers recorded the incident. No one called the police, no one ran to get help, and no one even attempted to save this young boy. When we hear stories like this, our instinct is to believe them as myths, legends, or even a figment of our imagination. It's hard to believe that the world we live in is one where pain and violence run rampant in front of a slack-jawed crowd. A world devoid of hope. It was in the 3rd grade that I became a hero. Now, you might be wondering what it was I did. Did I become a knight in shining armor and slay a dragon, or did I create a product that would rid everyone of their worst insecurities? Unfortunately, it was neither. Dragons don't exist, and I still hate my nose. Right now, everyone's looking at my nose. But I did save a life. It was a hot summer's day, and my brother and I were at the pool, which is ironic because, like the loser he is, my brother can't swim. So while the other kids were playing Marco Polo in the pool, my brother and I stayed on dry ground and shot water guns at each other. We eventually grew tired and took a break. I talked to a friend, and my brother stood at the edge of the pool, watching as the kids yelled Marco and Polo at varying intervals. A few minutes later, my friend decided that it would be really funny to shoot my brother in the chest with a water gun. This action that was meant to be playful and innocent became near fatal. As my brother plummeted into the deep end of the pool, I yelled for help, but was met with silence. I was a scared 8-year-old girl who came to realize if I didn't do anything, no one else was going to. So I jumped into the pool. Even though this event took place 10 years ago, it still serves as one of the most significant moments of my life. I often find myself questioning, what if I hadn't been there? What if I also didn't know how to swim? What if? Even though it pains me to think about these alternate possibilities, it's a privilege to be able to consider them. Because for some people, that's not a choice. Are we really just going to sit on the sidelines and watch as the people around us succumb to suffering? Because without a little act of altruism from me, from you, from us, our world would be an absolute purgatory. Former head of the American Psychological Association, Frank Farley, separates heroism into two categories with equal merit: big H heroism and small h heroism. Big H heroism is the extreme behavior, like running into a burning building or saving a life, while small h heroism is all about gratitude, so helping someone cross the street or helping out a friend who's being bullied. We don't need to consistently participate in extreme behavior to be considered a hero. We just need to help out when we can and become more active members of society. We can start with the little things, the acts that will be considered small h heroism. By doing this on a daily basis, we'll be more prepared for the events that may require big H heroism. As Professor Emeritus of Psychology Irvin Staub puts it, people learn by doing and change as a result of their own actions. For example, if we call out friends or coworkers for being rude to others, it can become easier for us to intervene when we see a stranger being harassed. Social psychologist Robert Cialdini also found that the impact of empathetic concern on helping is mediated through its relationship with perceived oneness. In other words, we feel more empathy towards those we identify with, so we should put ourselves into the shoes of all victims, as it gives us a cue to be more proactive. There is no Joker or Lex Luthor waiting outside your door, but there is a danger of inaction. So the next time it comes knocking, be prepared to kick its ass. Yes, superheroes are great. They provide a myriad of entertainment and often serve as inspiration. But they shouldn't be the sole definition of what a hero is. After all, there is a hero in each and every one of us. Thank you.